Well, I mean, without going into any details, did you yourself ever go on a hit to kill somebody who had cooperated?
Yes.
Okay. So you have total understanding that once you cooperate, you now have a green light by the Lucchese Mafia to kill you.
Absolutely. And I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I'm okay with that because you know why? Call me a rat, call me whatever you want. You're not calling me to my father's funeral.
How long after cooperating does your family actually get new identities and put into the witness protection program?
Well, the whole part of my deal was the number one reason was that my father would be protected with my family. That was number one. That's all I wanted. I pled guilty to life. There's no guarantees. People think you get a guarantee, everybody's going to get 5 years, if you cooperate, or if you cooperate, you're going to go home. It doesn't work like that. I hear guys get on even your show, and they say, oh, as long as you just talk, you go home. It doesn't work like that. There's a lot more to it.
Well, yeah, when you sign a cooperation deal, the only thing that you get guaranteed is that the prosecutors will actually go in front of the judge and say, Mike, that this person cooperated and helped in the case, and we're asking for leniency in the sentencing, but it's still up to the judge to decide. Sometimes it goes good, sometimes it goes bad, but it definitely helps out in the sentencing most of the time, right?
You plead guilty to the most serious crimes that you committed. You go in front of a judge like me. I had to plead guilty to recall murder, and everything else fell underneath that. I had to go plead guilty to life. And what you're talking about is called a 5K1 letter. As long as your cooperation goes and everything goes, and again, there's a lot of navigating through it. It's not that easy. If everything goes good, they'll write a letter to the judge asking the judge to depart from the guidelines. And then after that, it's up to the judge. They don't promise you you're going to go home. They don't promise you you're going to get 5 years, 2 years. That's all. There is no promise. You got to be forthcoming and you got to cooperate. But a lot of times it goes wrong.
At the point that you start cooperating, do they put you in a separate section?
Yeah, you go to a WITSEC unit. So it's called a witness security unit.
Got it. So you're basically with people who also cooperated, right?
Yes, everybody there cooperated on some level. And again, there's a lot of different levels of cooperation.
Okay, so you start cooperating, you get put in a security area, and you shared a cell with a couple of interesting people, one of which was Carlos Lehder, who was the co-founder of the Medellín Cartel.
That's right.
How did that relationship go?
It went good. Carlos was a very intelligent guy. He was fluent in several languages, had a lot of wisdom, a lot of experience. He's a normal guy. He's a good guy to do time with.
Okay, but he was also the co-founder of one of the biggest drug empires on earth.
Well, he was accomplished, right? In his game, he was accomplished. So you got to give the guy some kind of credit.
Okay.
I always try to look for good in people. I always try to look good in people first,
Well, I actually looked it up. At one point at his height, he was worth $2.7 billion. So this is not your typical street dealer here. This is someone who's functioning on a global billionaire level.
It's true. We were cellmates for probably, about a year and a half. He became a good friend.
Another person you were locked up with was Nicky Barnes, who was one of the Harlem kingpins at the time.
Right. Another accomplished guy. But we weren't cellmates. We were in the same. We weren't cellmates. We were in the same prison, and we worked in the kitchen together.
Right. Nicky Barnes, a.k.a. Mr. Untouchable.
Superfly, yeah.